Hello there, I hope you're really doing well. My name is Sam as always, and thank you so much for coming to this video. In this episode, I'm going to try and answer back to back some of the questions that you people left, especially on YouTube on one of my previous videos about how to solve major problems in virtual DJ. Now, before we get started, I really want you to know that this will be only based on the questions that people asked. And if you don't see your question being answered, then definitely I gave you an answer already in the comments section. And also, if you're still new to this channel, please make sure you subscribe. And without wasting so much time, let's get started. These are going to be around 10 questions, and maybe if I still have time, I'll get a bonus question to answer. The first question was raised by, your name is even so hard, and I really can't even try it, but sorry though. The question says, hi there, when I move the crossfader left or right, the songs on the pointed deck start automatically. How to avoid that, please? All right, so all you have to do is just disable the auto start. You have to come to options down over here and then look for fader start. In this box, type in fader start. Like that. So you have these two options here. You have to make sure they are checked to no. Because if you check them to yes, like this, I'm going to play this sound and I'm going to mute this sound due to copyright. But if you really have it checked to yes, whenever you move this, you can hear that it is playing. And also this, it's not only the crossfader, it's even up to these faders, something like that, or even this side. That is what you really meant. So once you come to options and then disable fader start to no, you should definitely have solved that problem. So it no longer has to play the song on the pointed deck like you were saying. I think that one is solved. The second question was raised by Andrew Gale 5195. I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name well, but this is the question. When I try to install Virtual DJ onto Windows 10, in the panel, it shows you advanced before installing. I added it to programs and installed. After installation, it still doesn't open. When I click on the icon on the desktop, I have gone to properties, clicked on compatibility, or even clicked run Windows 8 and apply and OK, and still doesn't open. What do you think is causing? I'm from the UK. Sorry, brother, from the UK. The only thing that you really have to do is to try to reset the software. And how can you even do it? All you have to do is close Virtual DJ and then browse to the Virtual DJ folder. If you're not using the latest version of Virtual DJ, you might find it in local disk C in documents. It might be down over here. That is if you're using the older versions of Virtual DJ. But then if you're using the new version of Virtual DJ, I don't want to take you the longer way. All you have to do is come to this setting and then navigate down to options. Once you're in options here, you have to come down to this cogwheel here. It's somehow faint, but you can see it. If you click on it once, the Virtual DJ folder pops up. So really, after opening the Virtual DJ folder, you have to look for this settings.xml, okay, this one here. You can delete it or you can rename it if you want to restore it later, but you can really delete that file and go back again and start your Virtual DJ afresh. That must be able to open. If that doesn't work, then the only option is going to be to update Virtual DJ to a much later version. That is going to help you. The third question is by YLYLMR. I don't know if that's how you say it. The question is, what happens if everything cannot download skins, effects, samples, etc. inside Virtual DJ? I can play songs, but everything cannot download addition. All right, so that normally happens. First of all, if you don't have really active internet working very well on your computer, you might not be able to download those skins. I really assure you. And next up, you must eliminate using VPNs. There's some VPNs that you really don't need to be using. I don't just have internet on my PC right now, but that is something that you should keep in mind. If you really can't download anything inside Virtual DJ completely, you might have to look at external sources of these things. Now, at the time of this recording, Virtual DJ itself does not provide that option. You don't have a website of Virtual DJ officially where you can download those things, but you can look up to some DJ who has them on his websites, or the best place I can also recommend is going to Telegram and then you can download skins. People have their packs. For example, if you come to my Telegram channel and then ask me for those plugins, I'll really be able to give you. I'll be leaving a link shortly in the description down below so you can check it out. But also, really, all you can do is make sure you have internet working on your PC properly. Avoid using the VPNs. Everything else must work well. The first question was asked by, this is another long name, I won't even try, but what matters is the question. He says, "Sir, I installed Virtual DJ but does not open or show, only for Windows 10 64 bits. Do something." All right, this is just related to the last question. It does not open. But when you talk about 64 bits here, I really forgot to say this. The latest versions, the later versions from 7842 onwards really stopped working in operating systems with 32 bits. Keep that in mind. Let me say Virtual DJ 2023 onwards no longer works on 32-bit machines. So all you have to do is upgrade your machine to 64 bits, and then Virtual DJ must be able to work on well and properly. Then question number 5 is by BKJ the Baddest. He says, "Hi Sam, thank you for everything, but I have a problem. My Virtual DJ folder is not there in the documents." All right, so I just did this a moment ago. If you have Virtual DJ that is of the latest versions, you'll have to just come to these settings, make sure you're in options, and then slowly come down to this cogwheel. It is faint, but I really hope you see it once again. Just click on it once, so you should be able to find your Virtual DJ folder here, just like that. If you want to see the directory, you can follow the long way. You can always come to see users, then your name, the app data. You come to local, still you will reach Virtual DJ, which is here. That is a very simple one. I really think that is solved. Next up is question number 6. This is by Averia Media Toronto. He says, "Hello Kay, can you help me fix the search database, clean it and refresh it? I want to delete the songs that are no longer on the computer and add new ones." So there are a few approaches to that. The first one is by coming to that specific song. If you really know, like this one, for example, in your browser, you can just right click on it and then come to remove from search database, search DB, search database. Now that's a long way of doing it. The second thing is to come to a specific folder. If you know that a folder itself already, the whole folder maybe doesn't have those songs, but still show up once you search over here, you can right click on that folder and then come to batch. Then you can see this down over here, which says remove from search database. You're going to remove the whole folder that will not show up again once you search over here. So the simplest way you can do this, and the most convenient way all at once, is to come over to this dot over here. I really hope you see this small dot where my cursor is on the left. Once you click once, you can come to database. And then in database, it says remove missing files from search database. Remove missing files from search database. That is going to remove all the songs that no longer show up on your computer, and you will remain with a clean list of tracks whenever you open up your browser and then you search. I really hope that is fixed, and we are good to go into the next question. If you're still watching up to this time, I really want to ask you to at least take just 5 seconds to subscribe to my channel if you did not yet, and if you did that already, thank you so much. The next question is by No More Mutants 65. No More Mutants 65 says, "Hey, my gain knob on the second deck is automatically changing when I move the mid knob. I use Pattern-Mix. I tried resetting the controller mapping, but it's not working. The gain knob on the opposite deck is automatically moving." Now, I really want to say that this could be a problem with the hardware, like with the controller you're using. You really always have to make sure that your controller is dust-free, 100%. I really faced that same problem with the Numark Mixtrack Pro 1, where the crossfader was really failing. It wasn't really locked up to the crossfader in the software. So the problem was just about opening it and dusting it. So really make sure your equipment is dust free. If the problem was with the gain knob, maybe on the exact side where you're trying to move the knob from within your controller, I would say maybe the auto gain in your DJ software is not locked up to the one in your controller. Now, what you have to do is you have to come to settings to fix up that. You'll have to make sure you're in options. This is where we're always coming, and you will search for auto gain, right? Just auto G is enough. And then here you can see you have to make sure it is set to no. If it is to something like remember or any other thing, it's not going to be locked up to your knob on the controller. So make sure it is in no and then close it. So each time you move the gain knob, the knob that is responsible for the gain on your controller, it's going to be locked up to the one in your software. That is how it's going to be. This is somehow a different case from yours, but I really hope it makes sense to somebody else. Question number 8 was by Khalif Mustafa. Mustafa says, hey there, truly appreciate your content. Anyways, do you happen to know why I'm not able to download plugins inside the virtual DJ software? I think we really answered this question. Just make sure you have internet working. If it's not working, make sure you're not on a VPN. Just get it from an external link on Telegram. You can get those plugins right away still. Maybe if everybody has a better idea on how to solve this, I suggest you put it in the comment section down below. I'll appreciate that. But I think your question was answered. Number 9 is by DJ Empathy 9889. He says, thank you, brilliant video. One problem I have ever since I loaded my own effects folder, whenever I load effects, Virtual DJ loses volume. And now when I load a deck while music is playing, the volume goes low. Now, what I really want to assure you is that Virtual DJ can never do this on its own. Maybe it's a bug that needs to be fixed, but I really think we can blame this on the post-fader effect. So you have to make sure you come back to pre-fader effects in case you were using it. If you didn't know how it works, you really have to come to the settings once again, to options as always, and then just look for effects processing, right? Effects processing over here. All right, so FX processing here, it should be in pre-fader. Unfortunately, you're going to be missing some nice things with the post-fader effect. It's actually a very nice one for the echo and the reverb thing, but not every effect works with it. Some effects might override your audio once you try to make sure you're using the post-fader effect. So just come back here. If you really need a later video on the post-fader effects, how they really work, I think I'm going to have time and really do another video to explain how this really works and demonstrate something like that. But that is it. So just make sure you have your effects processing to pre-fader and then close. You should not experience that. I also raised up this question in the virtual DJ community, and they really say they're going to look up in the problem. If there is a problem with virtual DJ itself, they will give us an update on that. So just stay tuned in. Number 10 is from the East Coast Sensation. He says, hello, I'm hoping you could help. I have Prime Go hooked up to my virtual DJ, but the EQ on the Prime Go is doing some effects rather than the high, mid, and low. How can this be fixed? Thank you. So you have to check on two things. I have two options for you over here. Number one, you have to make sure that your EQ mode is set to frequency. The traditional one, right? You have these EQ options. We have easy remix. We have modern EQ stems. So make sure you're using this, right? Frequency. So you have to really come. So you might ask how I came over here. I just have this key, letter H on my keyboard maps to something like this. It says EQ mode. So I just clicked on it once to go to the EQ options. The next way you can do it by coming to options and then just type in here EQ, and then you will see the second setting here which says EQ mode. Just make sure you come over here and set it to frequency. Leave alone the easy remix, the modern EQ, and stems. The next thing you can check out is that you have to check out if your mappings, if your controller, if those knobs on your controller are not set up to maybe apply some effects. For example, I'm hooked up to a Mixtrack Pro over here that you can see, and my high, mid, and low are really set to apply deck color effects instead of the mid, high, and low thing. I'm actually moving it right now, though you can see this is the high, and when I click over it here, I can see the deck, the mappings, the script that I have assigned them to. When I also move the mids, you can see here that it is meant to apply the deck color, which is cut. So make sure you don't have this. In case you happen to find this, you can reset it, or you can just come to mapping and then navigate back to factory default. If you don't want to do that, you can come to factory default and then move again the EQ, like maybe let's say high, Now you can see what the default mapping is, which is EQ high. Then you go back to that specific mapping that you really wanted and reset it back. Set the same script which you copied from the other side to this one. You might be able to solve your problem in that simple way. You also need to make sure you don't have dust on your equipment as well. I really hope that can also work out for you. The next question is from Amuge Christine PP9WG. He says, "Hey guy, how can I fix the loss of BPM after closing my virtual DJ, meaning I have to reanalyze again and again?" Now, unfortunately, this has no proper fix. I'm sorry to say that out. Maybe somebody has a better idea. But something that you can try out is to delete your settings. That's the first thing you can try. You can come to your virtual DJ folder and just delete your settings. Let me come over here very fast and then come to settings. Once again, you have to delete this, but always make sure you rename it, maybe just to back it up, rename it and then delete settings. The next thing is to check that your database, this one here, is not set to read only. You have to right click on it over here and then come to properties. If it is set to read only here, you have to remove it and then apply it once again, and that is going to maybe help you. Also, it might mean you don't have permission to write to the directory folder. I explained that in the last video. You can check it in the card up here, how to make sure your virtual DJ has permission to write to the directory folder. Question number 12 is from Eric J. Gabalain. I really hope I pronounced it well. He says, "Hello, good day or evening. I'm from the Philippines. How to fix this problem? When I load a track on the deck and it indicates error and not able to play." Wow, that simply means that song no longer exists in your virtual DJ. Let me say it maybe means you deleted it or you transferred it to another folder or maybe you renamed it. So that means virtual DJ, the database is not pointing to the exact file location that you really had it before. The way you can fix that is by relocating the song. Let's say you really know where it is located in your folder. If the song still exists, then you will have to navigate to the song itself and then make sure you take it back to where it's supposed to be. In case it shows up, you can right click on it. And the first option here will say relocate missing file. Okay, in case it is the one showing you an error, you can just right click on it. And then the first option on top here will say relocate missing file. It will take you to where the song is, and then you'll be able to play it again. The next thing is, if you don't really find it, then you'll have to right click it and then remove from search database, right? Remove from the search database, which is here. Once again, you have to clean your database, and I really showed it in the previous, and I really showed it somewhere along the video before I answered some question. I told you how to really fix the search database, and pretty quick you can check back that. I really hope you get it. Another one is from DJ Armando Empire. He says, "Senior K Sam, please, if I record the video, it turns into audio. Next, the Genius DJ is not working." Those are two questions in one. The first one is really straightforward. Virtual DJ will never, for any reason, convert your songs into audio, but you really have to make sure you come and point to the correct extension, the correct file extension while you're trying to record. If you really have to make sure you're pointing to MP4 before you even start recording. If you just come here and hit recording without making sure you point to the correct thing, you'll end up recording MP3 instead of MP4. You can also do that when you browse to the directory where you want to record it. Always make sure you really pick the correct file extension before you hit record. That could be an oversight, I guess. Next up is the one of Genius DJ. That really stopped working. I think virtual DJ just had to do away with it. But you really have something that works pretty much as the Genius DJ. When you come to filters, you have a song that is playing over here. You can see compatible songs over here. For example, this one here it is recommending songs basing on what it is seeing on my decks, right? So in case Genius DJ is not working, you can still have these compatible songs under filters. These are automatic. I'm not the one who created this filter folder. This is from Virtual DJ itself. So it can always recommend a song from your search, from your browser, from your directory, from your folders, whatever it is from your playlist. It is going to recommend songs that look like this one in terms of BPM and then key, something like that. So forget the Genius DJ at this time. You just need to come to these updated versions and then go working. Question number 14 is from DJ Stone 231. This is my guy. Really big ups to yourself. I hope you're doing well. I remember we fixed up this, but somebody else might be going through the same problem. He says, I'm fixing a problem with my left disc, bro. Not scratching properly. I mean virtual DJ. Yeah, so that can happen. That can happen really if you happen to see that you're scratching for some that there are two things that can happen. You might be trying to scratch and then the song is really increasing speed instead of scratching, or you might only be listening to forward scratch and you can't hear the backward scratch. Now there are two things there. You have to make sure that your platter or the jog wheel, whether inside the software or on the equipment, is set to vinyl. If you have a vinyl button on your equipment, sometimes it is written scratch. Just hit it once. It's going to help you. Or you can just do a hard mapping. You can come to controllers and then let's set a key. I'm going to look for a key that is empty over here. I'm going to use this key. All right, so down here you can just say vinyl mode, right? Vinyl mode. You can even see down over here already. This is vinyl mode. And then you can set vinyl mode to scratch. Something like that. And then once you save this, you really have to only press it once and then try scratching. It's no longer going to increase the speed. It is going to start scratching normally. Next up, it could be a problem with the smart scratch. There's something called smart scratch. It's not a problem, but the smart scratch is meant to make you only do what is called something like a stab scratch, where you can only hear the forward scratch. So also make another mapping like smart scratch. Okay, like smart scratch over here. And then press it once after saving. Just press the button once. You're going to be able to hear both the forwards and the backward scratch. That is not a problem. If you're using an old screen, you might be able to find it somewhere where you can just definitely disable it. Unfortunately, we don't have it over here, so I can't do much to show you. But that is the best way to do it, is to set that mapping like I showed you. The last question over here is by Robin Links. Robin Links, your question is a tricky one. For some reason, I'm not going to read it myself, but I'll just put it on the screen over here. It might lead to my video being compromised in YouTube because it has a sensitive word, but just help me read it. Now, how to fix that? That really means you need to install the official version of Virtual DJ. The unofficial version is not working well on your computer. If that persists, make sure you really refresh your computer properly. Restore your computer or install new Windows where necessary. Thank you so much. If the video has been long, it's been a long one, but I really hope it helps someone somewhere. I've also included timestamps. I really hope you enjoyed watching the video. In case you have something to add in, you can put it in the comment section down below. If there are more questions that you really wish me to answer in the next video, you can also leave them in the comments down below. If you like the video so much, really put a thumbs up on it. If there is someone who really wants to be shared with, you can also do that. And above all, you can really subscribe and then put on the notifications bell. I have this video coming in every week, and I hope to see you in the next one.